So I got my best dress on. For COVID times, I think this is about as far as I'm going. I have my finest china out with some bubbly, and I'm about to make a just magical hors d'oeuvre that's so fancy schmancy. You guys are just gonna love it. I'm making deviled eggs that are scented with truffle. Oh my, this is definitely a special occasion hors d'oeuvre. It's so, so delicious and actually really, really easy to make. And you can just make all your guests swoon and just go, oh, she's so fancy and elegant. And it all starts with eggs that we need to hard boil. It's kind of funny because somebody ate one egg out of this carton. When I opened it up, I was like, huh, very odd. Anyways, so we're gonna take these 11 eggs over to the stove and hard boil them. Let's go. Okay, so I have my eggs, my dozen eggs, and I have here some gently boiling water. You don't want it going absolutely crazy, but just very, very gently. As soon as it reaches this gentle boil, you wanna lower it to about kind of medium heat where it's just simmering. And then you're going to take your eggs with a slotted spoon like this. I can fit 2 on this pretty easily. And you just wanna very slowly lower them into the water. You need to go really slow or else your eggs will break, and you don't want that. So you're gonna keep on going until all your eggs are in. So all of our eggs are in our water, and we want to let these go for about 13 minutes at a very gentle simmer. You want to hear the eggs kind of bouncing up and down in the pot, but you don't want them to be crashing up and down. It needs to be a very gentle simmer. So we're going to set the timer for 13 minutes for 12 eggs, and you want to do about 12 minutes for 6 eggs if you're doing less. Boo! Our eggs are done. I have an ice bath here, and you want to make sure that you submerge your hard-boiled eggs in an ice bath to stop the cooking process, or else you're going to end up with eggs that are green, and you don't want that. So I'm just going to let them sit in this ice bath for at least 10 minutes, probably about 15. So our eggs are nice and cooled. I'm gonna take one of them out, and I'm just gonna use this plate here to give it a nice crack. I like to crack both ends of the egg. By the way, older eggs are way easier to crack and peel. So if you have eggs that have been sitting in the fridge, obviously not expired, but closer to expired, they're easier to peel. Look at how easy it came off. So then, I'm just gonna submerge this guy in some water just to get any extra shell off, just like that. And then I'm gonna put it to dry right on this paper towel, and I'll show you what the inside looks like. See how I did? Woohoo! That's what you want. All right, I'm gonna keep cracking. So I have my beautiful hard-boiled eggs here. Aren't they like the most perfect things ever? And it's time to take the yolks out. So the easiest way to do that is to take a teaspoon and then take your egg, and you just wanna pop out the white a little bit, just like that. And then you're just gonna take your spoon and you're just gonna go underneath the yolk, just like that, and pop it right out. So I'm gonna pop it out right into our mixer here, just like that. See, it's pretty good. So we're gonna keep going, get all of our yolks in our mixer. You don't need to use a mixer, you can just do this by hand, but I find the mixer to be easier. So we have our hollowed out eggs, and then we have the yolks right in the bowl of our mixer. And now it's time to add all the fun flavors. So we want these to be truffled deviled eggs, which means that we don't want like a lot of mustard taste. There's usually quite a bit of mustard in deviled eggs. We only want a little bit. So I just have a tiny bit of DIJON mustard, and then I have some sour cream, and the sour cream is just going to give the eggs a nice bite without having that super kind of mustard taste. And it's gonna be nice and creamy. And then the star of the show is some truffle mayo. Now, you can usually find this in your grocery store. It's truffle infused mayo. If you can't, definitely get yourself a little bottle of truffle oil, and you can add in like a teaspoon or two into this and just use regular mayo instead. So I'm gonna add this right in, and then just add a nice amount of salt, and we're gonna let this mix all together until it's nice and fluffy. If you're doing this by hand, you really wanna get it going so it's nice and fluffy. It's looking perfect. Make sure you just scrape down your mixer if you're using one, just to make sure that everything's combined. So this is exactly what we want, nice and fluffy. It's really aromatic, not too strong because we want that truffle to sing. So I'm going to get this all scraped down, and then I'm gonna put this mixture into a piping bag. Watch out, because I got this tool online. It's actually called an injector, which is kind of scary, but it's just like a fancy piping bag. It was actually really, really cheap. You can get one online. You can also just use a plastic bag, fill it with the yolk mixture, and then snip the bottom and just use it to squeeze, just like this. So either work, no worries. So I have my egg whites here. You don't want to necessarily fill all of your egg whites. I like a lot of yolk in my eggs. So if you like them really deviled, you want to kind of remove maybe 2 or 3 of the egg whites and just really fill them all with a lot of this. I'm going to use my injector and I'm just going to pipe in a nice little circular pattern, just like you're making a soft serve cone, just like that. And you're gonna keep going. I like about that amount in each of the eggs. You can do whatever you like. How beautiful. I did such a good job. They're nice and full and just amazing. I can't wait to try. But wait a second, garnishes. So I have 3 things that I want to do. I have some finely grated Parmesan Reggiano. You can also just use regular Parmesan. I'm just gonna do a little snow on the top of my eggs. And this is just gonna add a nice saltiness and nuttiness and just really play off of our truffle. Then I have a pop of green. You always want a pop of green. I have some chives here. I'm just gonna do a nice little sprinkle of chives to make it look really pretty. And then kind of like a cacio e pepe, you wanna add in some black pepper, and I love my pepper. Okay, that is truffled deviled eggs for you. And I have my eye on this one because it's like huge. It's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Let's go for it. Look at that. How fluffy. Oh my God. It's so good. The truffle is just the perfect amount. You have the sour cream, little bite, not too much mustard. It's heavenly. Check it out on tastilygrace.com. You won't regret it. I got this online. It's actually